so this is episode 23, right?
Yes, Boku no Pico.
Oh my god. Alright, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here, of course, for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Episode 23. Yes. And, Wham is summoning all the air for an atmospheric rift.
Yes,
attack.
And KARS...
KARS is not okay with this.
KARS is not okay with this. Wham's back exploded. Or looked like something like that.
Maybe KARS killed him preemptively.
It could be.
We'll see.
But hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
They're bros.
Yeah. But Joseph is getting strangulated by Wham's decapitated arms.
Yeah. Now, if KARS does interfere, though, that would mean that maybe the agreement is broken, and then Joe and Lisa could fight them together.
Well, that
means
means
Lisa to die.
That means they would win. They would get the redstone of Aja.
Hopefully. Yeah.
So, yeah. All right. So without further ado, let's get into this episode and see how it all goes down. What? It's a laser of wind.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, that's what the unicorn thing is for.
Okay.
Final, so it means it will kill him.
Yep.
Right. Jeez.
Yeah.
Which means his body has to contain the pressure that's being forced in that direction. Yep.
Right.
Yeah. And he was already wounded, so it's probably also going to be weaker.
No way.
He's going to clog his windpipes, basically.
Yeah.
Oh. Nice! Nice move. Pathetic. Here comes the music.
Yeah.
Oh!
I love how they're showing the fire in the place behind.
Oh, he said Caesar! Yes!
Nice! Oh!
Yes!
Yeah!
But that's Hamon!
Oh!
Wham! 今のシーザーのバンダナ攻撃で火炎瓶はあえて割らせるために投げたのがわからないのかお前の能力が瓶をあっさりカットできたこと
So now he's sucking in the oil,
The oil.
which will clog his
油は
windpipes,
体
yeah.
内で霧状のガスになっているそして細切れになったシーザーのバンダナは
Nice. Just the little embers get sucked in and then...
Oh, omae wa mushinderu.
Yeah.
Oh, this music is tragic.
But a powerful ally named Caesar was with me the whole time. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh!
Oh!
Wow!
Oh, it blew his head off!
Yeah.
I love the cut in the,
Right.
So... the scar almost looks like a tear.
Why do they have to make us sad?
Oh! What? No way! No way! What?
What makes you think this is pity?
Yeah,
exactly. Well said.
Why am I feeling things?
Exactly, that's what this is. Yeah.
Yeah.
と驚くまさかジョジョ貴様
That was a pose right there.
That was. My blood pays tribute to you. And
待て貴様ら何をする気だ
Oh! What? 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 What?
okay. Leaving aside how he loaded his own head into the crossbow.
This is too beautifully put together. I've never gone from crying to laughing so quickly.
I know. Nice.
In a way, he's shown brighter even than
Yep.
than KARS did, because KARS is
Exactly.
selfish.
Yep. Right. Okay.
We've come full circle. But a warrior has fallen this day. I ship it. I'm just kidding.
Bro TP. Okay.
I applaud their choice to have this.
Yeah.
Be.
That was great. Oh,
ジョジョが無意
nice.
識のうちにとっていたのは敬礼の姿であった。
Oh, the fundamental difference between the two of them.
戦闘者としてあまりにも純粋すぎた。
Okay.
それが弱さにつながったのだ。
Yeah, you're a survivor.
Weakness that he does not share.
Right.
なんだ。
Ooh, let the hair flow.
Yeah.
常に一
I
人。
alone always stand on top. Oh, wow.
私の1対1でもあえて約束を破るというのならこの石石を砕き散らすのみ
約束は守る。1
Okay.
対1。
Both the people with the fabulous hair.
Yeah.
ついてこい。次なる決闘場はあそこだ。
Ah, I like the environment.
Okay. Sure.
Why
かつ
not?
て下の戦車戦競技場の優勝者がこの神殿で敗者の血をおみきに混ぜ
Of
て飲
course
み
they
干し
did. Oh, here we go. Oh!
10歳前の小僧
Oh, here we
や
go.
わ
俺には
snap
記載葛藤がある。お前に武器を与
Holy
えれ
crap.
ばワムーの誇り高い意志を汚すことになる。そこの好きな武器を選べ。
自分のマフラーで十
My
分
scarf.
That's right.
カーズの構えは殺気がない
He's like, look at my
殺
hair.
気を発す
Look
な
at
い
it.
と戦えるのか
どうした来ないのか。ではこちらから行くぞ。
What?
どうだ再カット。
柱のひびの中から
スネックマフラー
Oh, here we
こ
go.
のマフラーはサティポロジアビートルという虫の
Oh, well played.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's like, no, not the face.
やっぱり先生すげえぜ
Oh, they're building it up.
Yeah, enough of the death flags. No! No!
Crap.
カーズじゃねえ影武者だ
Really?
くだらんな。1対1の決闘なんてな。
Oh, you
敵
bastard.
はあくまでも正
You
規的。あくまで
bastard.
も究極生物になる。
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah,
Of course.
そんな戦士になるつもり。
She's not necessarily dead yet. It was on the right side. Oh, I spoke too soon. I spoke way too soon.
道理で殺気がないはず
石石は手に入れた。あとはそのうるさいジョジョのやつをお前ら全員で始末せよ。
Oh, here we go.
And the fact that.
波紋があんまし効かねえぜ
What?
リバックオーバードライだ
呼吸も乱れ始め
Oh, just because of the long
The-
fight.
yeah.
てるぞ。いかにこのリサリサに支持し成長した波紋もこれだけの人数。
Wow. Now's the time.
What?
Is this Lisa?
Yeah, it has to be.
No! Strong! Yeah! What?
Oh, what?
That's right. The Nazis come in to save the day.
Speedwagon
Foundation Special
Forces.
Yes!
What? Oh my gosh! Yeah.
What? That is amazing. Yes. Yes.
Why not? Of course.
Wow.
That is amazing.
That is fantastic. Lisa.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Now I'm gonna kick your ass.
リサを騙し裏切った。
目的を達するというのが市場
Wow. Yep.
あくまで石石を手に入れればよいのだ。
He's selfish. He's a survivor.
危険を最小限にし、博打を避け。
Yep. Your pawns carefully.
Oh, okay, she is behind him.
は
Yeah.
ほとんど死んでいる。
She's only mostly dead, but only
There's a big difference
mostly.
between
Oh my
mostly
gosh!
dead and all dead.
Is the Princess Bride a JoJo's reference?
No, he did that specifically to draw Joseph out, so that now he has to fight KARS here.
No, he's making it so he won't. Oh, you bastard! Oh!
ロープを通して両足を縫い付けたぞ。それはリサそらロープを掴まると地面に激突して死んでしまうぞジョジョ
And now we'll fight.
Go! Move!
エリナおばあちゃんから聞いた。
Yep.
船の事故から助け育てたっていう。
Yep.
もうお前はそこから動けない。これが真の戦闘だ。
They have roundabout just coming on here.
こうやって何気なく近づき、動きを封じられた貴様を
He's sauntering up to them like.
貴様カーザーどこまでも腐りきってやがれ
ジョジョは知らないんだ。
Nope, he
あ
doesn't.
の女の人が
Yep.
自分の母親であるということを。
Oh. Oh my gosh, this episode was crazy.
It was.
What the heck?
Okay. This episode was bloody fantastic.
Oh.
I just want to say, there were all the crazy things that happened,
Right.
But the fact that they made KARS out to be this just a-hole, it works because
of the difference
between
him
and Wham. Yeah, because they built up this broship and all this stuff, and and the idea of honor and all that.
Right.
Then to have him just be like, nope, I'm not going to do that.
Yep.
It makes us hate him even more. Whereas if he had just started out doing that,
Right.
it wouldn't have,
Well, no, I don't want to be like I saw this whole thing coming, but I could tell that KARS seemed to be a manipulative kind of survivor. He seemed to be the kind of person who was selfish. He didn't seem to be the kind of person who held a true kinship to Whamu.
Yeah,
I felt like he was the kind of person who would do whatever it takes to become the ultimate being.
Right.
And honorific characters like Whamu are very easy to manipulate by people like him.
Right. The one thing where I'm a little bit unsure of is the whole thing that all the stuff that they did with him avoiding stepping on the flower and saving the cat.
That is
or whatever.
true. I think we haven't
Like,
fully understood why he did those things.
Well,
but
and
nothing of this directly contradicts.
No, nothing of it directly contradicts that. But what it feels like, and they might show us, how I'm wrong about this, but it feels like they're basically those things were actually just things that they were giving specifically for the audience that KARS might. It doesn't seem like those would be the kinds of things KARS would actually do, and that was basically just to throw us off so that we get surprised by this turn of events.
Well, we haven't gotten really any...
I could totally be wrong.
We haven't really gotten any depth to KARS yet. Like, here's where...
We had that little flashback, but...
They had a little flashback, but that was mostly just to add some depth to Wham rather than KARS.
Yeah,
and KARS is the kind of person who has the ends justify the means kind of mentality. But this kind of looking out for the smaller life form kind of thing is interesting because what...
He's still trying to become the ultimate life form. So.
Right, so maybe he already sees himself as a god, and as a god, he likes the free will of choosing what smaller life forms lives or die.
Okay.
Because when he saved was it a dog?
Yeah, I think it was a dog.
He killed the two other guys in the car.
Exactly.
And it was because they were essentially going to kill something that he could have had domain over as a god.
Okay,
I like the idea that he has the god complex, right?
Right, and it could be for
means.
selfish reasons, basically, of like...
Oh, it's absolutely selfish
This
reasons.
is mine, and I'm not going to let it be damaged.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think that he likes the ability to choose this thing. I determine that it is valuable because I, as a god, deem it valuable. So JoJo... in a way, he's giving him that same deeming him as being valuable because it's like, I will actually fight you instead of...
So here's a question I have. If we ever see an anime character that has like really long hair that's a dude, does that pretty much mean they're a bad guy?
No, it does not. No? I think when it comes to power levels, though, anytime the hair is really long, they're a really strong, a really powerful person.
How about this? If they ever change their hair,
yes.
If they ever not like the trope of like cutting the hair or whatever, but like if you have someone and their hair is one way and then suddenly like they change their hair, it's like, oh no, they're about to show their true nature and who they really are. Like,
yes, I think that is a very true perception kind of observation because there's a lot of times when characters will have those moments where they unveil like a new costume or a new form, and that's when they're basically powering up. And I think hair is a bridge between the two because it's showing that they're already powerful, but when they're unveiling hair like that, it's showing maybe a bit of their true nature and a bit of their true power.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And in that moment, we found out that KARS had... Lisa had no chance really against him because one, he was cheating, but two, he has the ability to bend light to make himself invisible. It wasn't an illusion, which is what I kind of thought it would be.
This really makes me wonder whether Aizen is completely just a JoJo's reference.
I don't think it's that direct.
Okay.
There's a couple things where, like, we had the only mostly dead.
Yeah.
There's a big difference between mostly dead and all dead.
Yeah.
But
great. One of the things that I liked about this is they didn't do the stereotypical thing of like, oh, the awesome, side character that's really powerful goes to fight the bad guy one-on-one, and it's close, but they just can't manage to beat them.
Right.
And they circumvented that by basically making it be something where KARS was actually taking her very seriously. Very seriously. He even said so before the battle started. We just didn't quite understand what that means.
Right.
And then it's like, oh no, he plays dirty right off the bat. And that's why she ended up getting defeated. Maybe he would have been able to defeat her in a one-on-one fight, either way. Like if he...
we don't know.
Without tricks.
Yeah.
But they aren't addressing that. They're just like, nope, but KARS is going to play dirty.
Yep. And I like that because it sets the stakes for the final fight or fights.
Right.
Because KARS is not an ultimate being yet. So
exactly.
There might be multiple stages to this fight.
Right.
But another thing, like you said, it directly contradicts Whamu's character 100%.
Right.
KARS and him were polar opposites. In nearly every way. The only thing that makes them similar is that they were both probably the last of the Pillarmen.
Right, and the fact that they're making it so that they are, like the fact that Joseph was saying you're dishonoring Whamu's memory, the fact that they're able to make it so that the protagonist is saying to the villain, you're disrespecting your buddy that killed my best friend.
Right.
That's
That's a very
impressive.
unique story thing.
I
that's
love
very
that they
good.
were able to set it up to be able to do that
because it actually hits hard. It doesn't
exactly.
It doesn't fall flat. It actually has weight to it.
Yes, it makes it a real betrayal because they're able to actually make it be a betrayal because one, it wasn't obvious. It's not like a betrayal of the protagonist where there's like this scheming evil person with a really deep voice and then it's like, oh, they're the bad guy.
Yeah.
Whoa, I never saw that coming. Instead it's like, no, they're definitely the main antagonist, right? But there's this idea amongst some of them that there's this code, and then they're just like, nope.
I reject that.
I reject that completely.
I am a god. I am above these petty honor rules and stuff
which
like
is
that.
Which is great because they're not only they didn't just set up Whamu with villainous virtues.
Right.
They used that as a way to make the actual antagonist be even worse by showing their complete and total disregard for them.
Yeah, which is why his villainous virtues that he's shown are either trivialized, and that'd be kind of bad, or there's something else to them.
Right, exactly.
And because I think that they tantalized us with backstory of the both of them, not just Wham or Whamu, with KARS in there as well, I think we're going to see KARS' backstory. And that's how they can intersect the stages of the coming fight. Another thing that's interesting is I feel like 10,000 years is a little bit like it doesn't go back that far.
Oh, because what is it? Because they were asleep for 2,000 years or something like that, or whatever.
Well, no,
it was.
they've been asleep for 2,000 years, but he says that they've been comrades for 10,000 years. But I think that kind of suggests that they met at some point.
Oh, gotcha.
But I think that if these guys were like the
original...
original...
We show Pillarmen as they're like little babies.
No. I don't know how that works, but I feel like KARS, in and of him being the king or something like that,
right?
It feels like he met, Wham or Whamu at some point. But if they're the ultimate life form on planet Earth or what have you, life started on Earth a lot longer than 10,000 years ago.
Right. So these aren't the... Yes, so if they wanted to go back further than the Pillarmen, they could. Not that they...
Because I still hint on the idea that they're going to go aliens with this at some level. Because if they keep doing time skips, we'll eventually get to modern time.
Yes.
And then we could actually have technology that interacts with, some kind of special extraterrestrial beings or what have you. I don't know.
One of the things that the reason why I'm starting to think that they won't do that is because with the incredible sense of style that they just do for this show.
That's true.
And they'll keep changing up the specific aesthetic for, any given moment.
Right.
But I get the feeling the reason they won't actually go into space is because
they don't have to go into space. I just meant that the aliens.
Oh, okay. The beings could be aliens. Okay, sure. Right. But the idea is that I think if they do that, it will be for a segmented period of time, and then it'll be left behind. So they'll be able to experiment with that aesthetic, and then move on to something new.
Okay. I'm not holding on to it too tightly. But one of my favorite things about this episode was they chose to devote almost the first half of it entirely to basically Wham or Whamu's character.
Right.
His character was one where I was pretty certain that he was going to be my favorite of the Pillarmen. And that episode just cemented it 100%.
Right.
There was no question in my mind.
Because not only was he elevated up a ton, KARS
became scum.
Yeah.
He's some beautiful scum.
Yeah, he may be fabulous.
He may be fabulous, but no, he's still scum. He is there's tiers of scum, and he's like the scummiest of scum.
Well, Show Tucker's maybe a bit further.
I know
down
he's lurking down there, right above Show Tucker.
Right.
And they can
this is
wave
going to
to him
great.
a couple layers above.
Exactly. And it's going to be great because that means when he finally gets come up,
yes,
it is going to be.
It's going to be fabulously
so
beautiful.
Awesome. Yep.
There's going to be a massive display of light and power.
Hair.
Light, blood is going to go everywhere.
When his body falls, I'm imagining they're fighting on top of a mountain, or maybe the final fight is actually right here at this spot, but that KARS will fall and it'll be this.
Wait. Here's a crazy thing. You said that KARS is basically Aizen, right?
Yeah.
So if he wants to become the ultimate being, does that mean KARS is going to become a butterfly?
I hope so.
So basically what I'm thinking is KARS has his like magical girl transformation, right?
Exactly. It's going to literally
and there's going to be light like exploding from his being as he transforms.
He might
and
not
everyone's
be a
going to be like,
butterfly,
"Oh, it's beautiful."
But yeah.
But I just want to see his wings clipped. Whatever he transforms into, I want to see that split from his body, so he'll fall back to being a not ultimate being.
Gotcha.
And
maybe he'll
have
start
the light blood and hair and everything go everywhere.
If his power is light, maybe he'll start vomiting rainbows at people. Like
I could actually see him channeling Hammon, like actually using it if he conquers the sun, like him taking the crystal and being like, yeah, laser, and he just carves Nazis, like, because they just introduced a bunch of fodder for him to display his ultimate being powers upon.
Right. And
it's pretty clever in terms of story thing too.
That was one of the
have him have those guys there. Right. Otherwise, what is he going to display it on the world where he's just
and that was one of the things I was a bit like unsure about. So Stroheim is a Nazi, but those other guys, Speedwagon, what CE says is the word of God.
Yep.
Said that they were the Speedwagon Foundation, like special commandos or special forces or specialists or something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
He basically
I didn't catch that.
He basically said they were the Speedwagon Foundation's peeps, but they.
Wait, so is Speedwagon working with Nazis is basically what you're saying? Like, is he employing?
Well, no, but so I don't know, but I thought for sure at the beginning, you know, just from looking at the uniforms, that those guys were also Nazis and that Stroheim had, you know, brought some buddies.
Well, here's the thing: the technology is definitely Speedwagons.
Yes,
the people. It doesn't really matter.
It could be the Berlin branch of the Speedwagon Foundation.
Yeah. I think that the Speedwagon Foundation is probably rich enough to where they're a global organization, even though globalization hasn't really happened at this point in history. Yeah. There's a lot of areas of the world that really don't like other areas of the parts of the world. Right. And also, since we're like right before World War II, this could be a very interesting AU take on certain things of history. And Speedwagon's Foundation literally changes history like forever. It would be funny if they time skip to like the 70s and we're like in 2030 level technology. That could
all thanks to the Speedwagon
No, because
Foundation.
say World War II didn't happen and the world unified a little bit, and we moved things ahead at a 30-year faster pace, you know, than normal. That could have happened because there's a lot of dumb things that halted in terms of advancement because of World War II. Yeah, and then certain other areas that got accelerated in terms of technological development because of World War II.
That's true. That's true. I don't know.
The Speedwagon Foundation develops the nuclear bomb.
No. They actually. Well, okay, sure. They could also be the ones that like end up getting Man on the Moon and stuff like that.
Oh, sure.
Like because Speedwagon.
And then they just find they find the alien proof there.
Because Speedwagon just speaks into being all the things that they need to accomplish, and suddenly they know how to do it.
He is basically the fount of just creative
of truth
knowledge. Yes, yeah, it's incredible. Okay, but Wham or Whamu, you will be missed.
Yeah,
rest in peace.
You will so be missed.
You like proud but honorable warrior.
Yeah.
I love that his weakness was his pride, and if that's his only weakness, as a warrior...
And it wasn't even so much his pride as his honor.
Well, like honor, but no, really, it was pride. Well, there were points where he would easily sacrifice himself. I'm not talking about pride in himself. I'm talking about pride in his code.
Right.
Pride in that he actually follows this code.
Right.
I think that's another thing that's good to bring up. If you were an immortal being, eventually immortality would become a trivial thing to you because you would live for thousands and thousands of years like he did. And you would have to find something else to find meaning in other than just simply living.
And that, okay, all right, here's something interesting.
Yeah, what's that?
That whole statement of him not caring about immortality, I would say that goes so much towards building him up in his rule of coolness.
Yes, I agree.
Now, agree. Because he basically wasn't chasing after something and saying, like, that's what I need in order to, you know, have a fulfilled life or whatever.
His fulfillment.
Right, exactly. And now he was just living and enjoying living in line
Which
with
makes
his
it
code.
even better that he's also voiced by Iskandar.
Yes, exactly. Because that is exactly what he does, too. So, I just think that's amazing.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, yeah.
And then ashes to ashes, dust to dust, wind to wind,
And we cry.
and we cry.
Yeah.
I actually cried for this guy.
Yeah, I didn't, but I was like, okay, I love this.
I think there was a proper build-up with how he was passing away to not only that, the way Joseph was responding to a lot of the things that they would talk about.
Yep.
To that I was set up to where it felt okay, because I think sometimes when there's emotional moments like this, I actually reject the emotion because I don't want to give a scene more weight than it really deserves.
Right. Especially because with this kind of scene, it would not have worked in most other stories.
It really wouldn't have.
The fact that it's JoJo's, we kind of accept when strange things like this happen. Like, if it was in a more, like, dramatic story, I'd be like, okay, Joseph, I get that you might be able to acknowledge, like, some good traits that Wham had, but he still killed your best friend, like, 3 episodes ago. So, you know...
Well, because it's JoJo's.
Exactly.
Not only could I experience that level of feeling, I went from that to laughing hysterically as he launched himself from the crossbow. His head, his severed head.
How he got his head
Who
into
cares?
the crossbow,
Who
cocked
cares?
the crossbow, and fired it.
He was moving wind around, you know. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
JoJo's.
Rule of cool.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Absolutely so much yes. And the fact that when he launched his head from the crossbow, there's the unicorn horn still at the front that's like slicing through everything.
Oh man, Airbenders OP. But
pretty much.
But
like,
yeah, there was also some great little Omaewa Mushinderu moments.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then also
your next line
will be
Yep.
Good JoJo's episode. I feel like this was one of those other episodes like episode 20 where it's just chock full of so much stuff that I really feel bad for Rot, who's going to have to edit this one.
Yeah.
This one's going to be hard to cut down.
It's going to be insane. One of the other things that I want to give a shout out to, the fact that even though they're dealing with gods and stuff, basically at this point, right, or soon to be gods or whatever demigods, they still are not above the old, oh, I have someone you cared about tied from a rope and they're going to fall to their death. You know, like, I love that.
And yet, both of them, both KARS and Joseph, don't even know that Lisa is his mom.
Even though...
Which adds actually
even though Joseph should know that she's his mom because he knows that she was the baby, and he has been told that they got married and they are his parents.
Joseph is cunning.
Yes,
he does not have high intellect.
Yes, he's cunning and charismatic, but he tends to be very focused on what's in front of him.
Right.
And
so if he was a D&D character, he'd have high strength and dex. His constitution would be a little bit average. His int would be like just
super low,
just a little bit below average.
Yeah, and then his wisdom and charisma would be like super high. Well, his charisma for sure.
His charisma would be super high. But also, if we add cunning from the Star Wars one, his cunning score would also be ridiculously high. Because that's all sleight of hand stuff and everything.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like the. Yeah.
Oh man.
So, but now we have this fight with KARS, who now is apparently just the most despicable, like, person.
Right. I think
possible.
that's going to be a thing with JoJo's moving forward, because we thought that they would avoid that when they shifted from Dio to the Pillarmen, but now they've actually gone back and they're reminding us, no, we want you to have the most evil of evils,
right? So
that you really want to see them get pulverized, and them going back to this, I think, means that they will do that again in the future.
And can I just say that Dio was his whole run was in the first 9 episodes of JoJo's.
Yep.
This is episode 23.
Yeah.
They have resolved most of the several new bad guys.
Yep.
And they made the final bad guy.
Yep.
They completely changed our perspective of him and made him revert, like,
in one episode.
Revert back, in one episode to that same kind of just this punk needs to get taken down.
Yeah.
Like, so...
Like, I want to see Lisa put, like, her high heels through each of his toes, like pain. Like, I want him to step on, like, 1,000 Legos for, like, all eternity. Like...
or she's, like, she uses her scarf even while she's like hanging upside down to like grab onto a
Oh,
wall.
Lisa is probably
Like-
going to do another Rule of Cool thing,
Oh,
but
yeah.
she is seriously injured. And I think it's
She
actually
is.
quite awesome that Stroheim and all them show up, because Speedwagon and Smokey and Stroheim can save Lisa,
Exactly.
allowing
Right. And
JoJo to have his one-on-one fight.
more importantly, they're saving the female character, the damsel in distress,
Yeah.
in a situation where it actually makes sense
Yep.
for her to need to be saved. Because in
Yep.
this, like, I thought she was dead.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, yep, okay, here it is. That, yeah, this
Yep.
is how they'll just make us hate
She
Cars
still could
a
die.
ton.
She still could die.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. But the fact that that she was introduced as the real threat for Cars, right?
Sure.
He adjusted his plan accordingly to say, I'm going to take her out in a way that's dirty, right? And then, because now, if
Right,
if
but he
she
was
does
also
end
in
up-
that moment not killing her. He was rendering her
right.
inoperable to the point where she would be then a pawn
right, exactly.
for Cars
Yep,
to use.
Yep.
In a way, he kind of is like he's kind of like a chess master. So that makes him a little bit like Aizen.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if there do end up being any like plot holes in his chess master plan, it'll be fine because it's JoJo's. Whereas, anyways,
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this was a lot of fun. I
so
can't
much
wait.
fun.
I cannot wait to watch the next one.
Yeah, but that moment when Stroheim and the Speedwagon Foundation Special Forces or whatever come up with the ultraviolet lamps and just start blasting the vampires, that was one of the best things I have ever seen in so long, because you don't know that they're coming.
Nope.
It really did feel like this drastic, like, well, they're screwed. What can they do? Like,
Yeah. I mean, we're used to seeing, we saw Jonathan die at the hands of being swarmed by vampires
Right, yeah,
in a
exactly.
precarious situation. We're like, okay, this might be that time where we we move on or something.
But-
But we have to stop Cars. How is that going to happen?
yeah, exactly. And
And it's not really the worst Deus Ex Machina that JoJo's has done, but
But such
But
rule
so
of cool,
apropos.
just so
Yes,
amazing that
yes.
yes. And the fact that it was Stroheim standing proudly on the hill with
his
With the
coat
ultraviolet
blowing in the
lamps.
wind and
yeah. Like
German technology is the greatest in the world.
Never have I been so happy to see a Nazi.
Jacob 2018.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, guys. Well, this was super fun. We're excited for the next one, and yeah. If you want to watch that next one right now, you can go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon, get on early access, and also give us Discord access.
It
where
does
you can
indeed
chat with
get
us
on
about
that.
why JoJo's is the greatest show ever.
Exactly.
And yeah, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb,
I'm Jacob.
and we'll see you all next time.